In this video, I will tell you why IP is a problem and why we need to abolish copyright law. Let's start by saying what IP actually does and why IP is insane. If someone thinks they have the right to make information and something non-physical property that is hindering other people from using and expressing the same or similar thing, that is what IP actually does. It doesn't protect artists or it doesn't protect you. Now, before I start, I'm gonna say that probably lots of the stuff that I'm gonna mention other people already said, but I'm gonna say it again because information can't be owned. Lots of people that I'm gonna mention today, Nina Paley, Stephan Kinsella, Falkvinge, they probably already said this. But I thought about this way before I heard those people say it. So it's like you can't own something that you thought of before you knew other people already said it. So I'm gonna start with why copyright is hurting or not helping artists. So that's something Nina Paley mentioned. She started questioning, do I want my stuff to be shared? And what are the benefits? Well, if you free your work, the benefits are that you gain a bigger audience. You make more sales. You make more sales by letting people spread your work and not hindering them. Therefore, even if work is freely accessible, people want the physical thing. So they're gonna buy CDs, DVDs, the physical thing, because even if something is freely accessible, people still want the physical thing. The next problem Nina mentioned is that the problem with IP is that we keep losing so much culture. Culture we don't know about, culture that gets locked away. So all IP does is it locks culture away. Other people can't share culture. The next point, something Nina also said, the problem with IP is it creates fear of culture. Fear of having to ask permission first. Nina talked about this, that she is crippled by ages, centuries, by centuries of permission culture. Speaking of fear, that's what IP does. It creates fear. As Nina Paley said, copyright is brain damage. It's brain damage in the great mind. Getting to the next point, what Nina also said, something I thought way before I saw this video of her saying it, that if people don't want their stuff published, one of the things is you can just make it private, leave it private, because once something is published, it belongs to the public. The next problem is that once you do make something public, it scares people away if they see something like unauthorized use prohibited. Every time I see this, I don't even bother watching the video, so you unconsciously scare your customers away. People that would have been interested in your art, people that were much more likely to engage in culture if they can share it. That's another issue people don't realize. If you protect your art so much, people just don't want to engage. Now, I'm gonna give you an example of what Falkvinge mentioned in his book, The Case for Copyright Reform, and also in other videos of his. So he gave this example of fabric patterns. In the past, people used to recreate fabric patterns, and for that, they were executed or tortured on those wheels. But the fascinating thing, people never stopped sharing culture. And that's fascinating, says Rick, because it shows people have always shared culture, no matter the consequences. People shared culture for centuries. That includes folk songs, stories, poems, etc. Now I'm gonna get back to Nina, what she said about permission culture. So permission culture creates fear, and Nina Paley promised herself to stop letting permission culture get into her way of creating new stuff or remixing existing stuff. So Nina told herself she's gonna ignore permission culture. She even said she wept at a point when people told her not to do it. She was crying. And how I relate to Nina, I was feeling similar. I was feeling like really bad anxiety, fear of permission culture, and over-worry. Sometimes that still happens, but the last days, seeing all those free culture activists like Nina and Stephan Kinsella, they really helped me. The anxiety is gone. Now, I'm not saying they personally helped me, but they helped me by watching their videos. It helped me get rid of the anxiety. And getting to the last point, what Stephan Kinsella mentioned. I'm gonna give you an example he mentioned in a video. He said that if you can't apply certain information to your actual property, that's the problem with IP. For example, he gave, if you can't, use your own body, which he calls kind of like your body could be a property, it's your body. But if you can't, he gave that example of Beyonce getting sued for dancing some other artist's dance move. And that's what he meant. If you can't use your actual property the way you want, that's not freedom. That's the problem with IP. That's all for this video. I hope I can get more people into the free culture movement. And let me know in the comments what other video topics I should do.